I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire for the weeks of May 24th to June 6th. We make burgers out of your sacred cows. Delicious. Well, it's D-Day, and because nobody knows how to be normal online, everyone is going insane. We also have our Senile-In-Chief is over in Normandy. He was with Macron, and there are all these videos as we're kind of recording of him trying to sit down in an invisible chair. Pooping is trending because people were saying it looked like he pooped. He missed his chair at one point when he was going to sit down. His wife, Dr. Jill, had to escort him off stage, leaving Macron to go shake hands with all the D-Day survivors, who, by the way, even at 98 years old, seem more put together than this fucking guy. What drives me insane about the whole thing is that for all the talk about being fit to serve, this person is clearly not fit to serve. Neither one of these people were fit to serve in 2020. Here we are 4 years later. They're both even less fit to serve. One's getting convicted. Another one's pooping in his pants.
Poop pants. Poo pants? Poop pants. You pooped your pants? Poop my pants.
What is this actual show election that we have been forced to endure? The people of America, do we deserve this?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this our curse? This does feel a little bit like rock bottom.
Yeah.
I'm sure there have been worse elections, but I don't know enough about history to know what they were.
Right.
So history buffs out there, tell us what the worst elections in history in America were. Tell Maggie in the comments. Yeah, it's not good. I think he's doing a lot of pooping in his pants these days. He even had that weird when he was asked about Trump's conviction. He did his creepy smile, and I'm like, that is the smile my toddler gives me when she's pooping and looking directly in my eyes.
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign?
That's exactly, I know that look. I'm taking a shit right now. Can we also talk about Hillary's fucking tweet on D-Day, though?
Yeah.
Basically, long and short of it, she's like 80 years ago today, young men stormed the beaches of Normandy to fight against Nazis.
To save our democracy.
To save our democracy. I guess she didn't say fight against Nazis, but it's kind of implied. Save our democracy. This November, all you have to do is go vote. I'm like, folks, can we just, for 1 second, honor D-Day by not making it about you? Mm-hmm. Is it too hard to ask in this fraught time? Can we just honor the soldiers who did these insanely brave, beyond comprehension things that they did, like storm the beaches and parachute into behind enemy lines without making it about politics? It's such a gross thing to tweet. This is why you lost, Hillary. Nobody likes you.
What are the American people? Got a Yankee Doodle Doo. They're gonna throw your fat face at their just under you.
Speaking of gross, I have to think about Trump having sex with a porn star again.
Troll convicted.
Trump, in case you live under a rock, was convicted of 34 counts in the hush money trial. My basic take on this is that nobody responded to this in a way that could make any reasonable person happy. Everybody was kind of annoying in the wake of this, like the usual suspects that you would expect. I think most Americans weren't even paying attention to this trial. And then he was found guilty and they were like, oh, and then moved on. It seemed like it was in and out of the news cycle very quickly, other than amongst the kind of pundit class and the journalistic class. And then there were people who were pretending it was this solemn day for America and, everything is broken. And there is a bit of a kangaroo court in this trial. It does probably undermine some of the other trials that, the guy is a criminal, although I would also argue all of our leaders are criminals. So I do think presidents have done much worse things, like bombing villages and jailing journalists, doing all kinds of things that they've got, putting Americans away for being whistleblowers. There's plenty of things that other presidents have done that probably could be considered war crimes. But then you had all the people who were like, I'm a lifelong progressive socialist communist, and I will be dragged naked across a desert of broken glass to vote for Trump in this election. I saw this hundreds of times online. It's to the point that I was like, this has to be the Russian bots logging in saying this. By the way, you were already going to vote for Trump. You were not suddenly going to crawl across broken glass to vote for this guy. Now you're just comfortable admitting it and coming out of the shadows. My favorites were like I've never voted for Trump in my life, but I would crawl across broken glass. Yes, you have, you piece of shit. You've definitely voted for Trump. Probably both times before this. I'm not buying it. You posted a picture of Trump with Jesus being like he was guilty too. The internet makes us so dumb. Okay, even if it's a kangaroo court, it's still hush money to pay off a porn star that he had sex with. And you, an evangelical Christian, are comparing him to Jesus?
What the fuck?
In what fucking world is that not offensive to Jesus? You should be ashamed. Or Mother Teresa? What? It's so weird. Then people were trying to say that he was a convicted felon now, and he was trying to appeal to the black vote. And I'm not sure who was saying this, but I'm guessing it was Jesse Waters. Without looking for an answer, I'm assuming it was Jesse Waters. It was always Jesse Waters saying this. And yeah, they're like, he's getting in on sneakers and he has 34 felonies. And I'm like, that sounds kind of racist, guys. And yet I think it's also working. And then there were all these idiot pundits tweeting war. Like Andrew Breitbart's famous, video.
War.
After you're done live streaming or video gaming or whatever the F you do, come back from your skate park and go start a war.
Lead the revolution.
You're going to lead the revolution on your skateboard? I fucking hate all these people, I swear to God. I do think it's funny, too, that the party that's been screaming lock her up, which apparently Trump is denying he ever said, despite hours of video evidence to the contrary.
Hillary Clinton has to go to jail, okay? She has to go to jail.
She's crooked as a $3 bill. Lock her up is right.
For what she's done, they should lock her up. She's just very short.
Crooked Hillary, wait. Crooked, you should lock her up, I'll tell you.
You should lock them up. Lock up the Bidens. Lock up Hillary.
That they're now clutching their pearls about someone being punished by the law, but nobody cares. No one cares. No one applies any of this stuff.
No one cares at all. It was like,
but the American people don't care.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you we don't care.
This is not changing anyone's mind. They're like, so many people just became Trump supporters. I'm like, no, they didn't. And they're like, so many people just stopped wanting to vote for Trump. I'm like, no, that's not true either. Literally, maybe 6 people in America's minds were changed by this. And that might be pushing it. No one was swayed by this one way or another. If you were, please email us. I am politically homeless@gmail.com and tell us your story.
Yeah, if you had your mind changed one way or the other by this decision, please email us and tell us.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think that it's not bullshit. I'm not saying this isn't lawfare. I'm not saying it's not a kangaroo court. I do think he's also a criminal and a liar and a guy who doesn't give a shit about any of us, really. So I'm kind of like, meh. Like, no one cares. No one cares. Some housekeeping. I will be at Mothership on Father's Day, just doing like a 5-minute set on the crew show, the staff and crew show in Little Boy. And I will be performing at Mothership, opening for the great Gen X king, Colin Quinn, which is crazy to even say out loud, on July 19th and 20th. So if you're ever going to come see me perform, I would highly recommend this show, because then you get the extra special cherry on top of all cherries, Colin Quinn live. And if you've never seen him live, it is really special and remarkable. And then my every Tuesday at the Gay Enough Show on East Austin Comedy, where I try out all my new stuff and try and make the gays laugh. The only thing that keeps Dumpster Fire going is our subscribers and our advertisers, who you also support. So we are very appreciative of you supporting the people who support us and also subscribing to Phetasy.com. We haven't raised our rates in years. We're trying to keep it very reasonable for everybody in these uncertain, messed up economic times. Go to Phetasy.com. You get so much content. I'm not even going to begin to list it. There's a little video you can watch to see all the things you get, and we're always adding more. Now I have another show, another round, where Maggie and I used to do the check-in behind Walk-Ins Welcome, and now it's like a show behind the paywall for supporters, because it's just us talking about our personal lives, and I didn't want to put that out there anymore for the masses. So now it's behind the paywall. For you, you get the unedited version of Dumpster Fire before the edited version drops. That's the big one people love. They love seeing how the sausage is made and all the really fucked up, inappropriate jokes that don't quite make it to YouTube. Just quite a lot of them, actually.
Yes, there are.
So many hundreds of you have subscribed and are, asking for people to help keep this going, and it would be amazing. We have a goal of getting to 1,000 supporters by the end of the summer. We would love for you to be a part of that and join us in our community. It's super fun, and I appreciate all of you who have come in and supported. That's amazing. And so, yeah, we're like 300 people away from the goal. So we want you to save the dumpster fire.
Yeah, truly.
It's only $5 a month, guys. It's just like saying no to one latte a month. You can do it. Or $50 a year. Come on. If you love this show, tell someone about it too. That's another thing you can do. You can like, subscribe, comment, and touch our bells and buttons. Tell your friends.
What is happening?
Breaking news. Man who wants to eradicate all the Jews congratulates American university students for being on the right side of history. Iran's Ayatollah encourages students to become familiar with the Quran, and ladies, please cover your faces. That's what he said, actually. Again, beyond parody. How is this the real timeline we're living in? And then Al-Qaeda came out. They're back.
We're back, baby.
Because now we're in the early aughts again, apparently. Everything's making a comeback. They have joined the Ayatollah in praising their allies, which cracks me up because there's all this talk about allyship on the progressive left. And it's like, these are your allies, guys?
Yeah.
You don't see anything wrong with this. You'll get mad at somebody who is a pundit who gets named in a manifesto of some lunatic who goes on a killing spree, but you are associated with the Ayatollah and Al-Qaeda. They're calling you allies, and you see no problem with that. Okay. It only took 23 years, but Al-Qaeda likes us again.
For the first time. I'm like, have they ever liked us?
We finally got them. Finally got Al-Qaeda on our side. I don't know. Are all of these students drunk on Osama bin Laden? This is China's fault. It's TikTok.
Yeah.
This is TikTok. I'm blaming China. I mean, they learned from their mistakes. They learned, don't go in with the tanks. go in with TikTok. Don't roll over your university students. Brainwash the students to hate themselves.
Hamas Girl Summer is gearing up.
If you're a bunch of socialist commies, why are you selling these chic keffiyeh wear or whatever?
Keffiyeh couture.
Keffiyeh couture. Is that what they actually call it?
No, I think we just tagged it with that. Yeah.
Designer Aziz Bekawi has released some Hamas chic. It's beautifully designed, very chic keffiyeh wear. We f***ing called it. Hamas Girl Summer is here. You know capitalism always wins. Marketed by Arabs, made in China, sold to Americans. The circle of life. I was having fun on the website. You can go and use the code BushDid911 to get $9.11 off your first order. Do you want to be stopped at every airport you go to? Would you like to be put in a room in between countries for hours? This is the jacket for you. If you leave this backpack anywhere in an airport, a robot dog will come to disarm it immediately. These keffiyeh gloves will keep you warm for the nuclear winter. Non-union actors really will do anything to make a buck. Also, everyone was making fun of how gay they made the keffiyeh look, which was hilarious. They're like, they made it look so gay. I mean, Countdown to AOC and Ilhan Omar rocking this on the house floor. We live in a South Park episode. The motorcycle helmet. I feel like they're selling it as a motorcycle helmet, but it feels a little bit like a paraglider helmet.
Yes. Well, they don't even say motorcycle helmet on the site. They say helmet.
Oh, yeah, it's a paraglider helmet. For sure. Please don't lose your sense of humor in these darkly hilarious times.
I know.
It's the only thing that's going to keep us.
I mean, these are some dark, twisted jokes, but I find them funny.
Our audience finds them funny because our audience likes things like Normal World. And, you know, they have a dark sense of humor because they know it's the only way to manage. There's so much like cognitive dissonance and insanity. And honestly, we don't care how you vote. People always come into our like subscriber community. They're like, I'm just going to post about Trump until she boots me from the community. I'm like, at some point you're going to realize I don't give a shit how you vote. I literally don't care. It doesn't keep me up at night. I'm not invested in it. I don't care. Do whatever you feel like you need to do. This doesn't matter. This election is ridiculous. I've never cared how anyone voted since I was 20 years old and then realized that nothing mattered.
Nothing matters because we're all gonna die someday! Hey! No, please don't kill me, please. No, I don't want to die, please.
And you will realize that too. Let go of it. Just let go. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I love this sponsor. Father's Day is coming up, you guys. It's in a week. Get your man some of the Sheath underwear that has the revolutionary dual pouch system that lovingly cradles your balls. And in a separate pouch, keeps the genitalia comfortable. Things aren't sticking. It's summer. It's hot. It gets gross down there, guys. You want to keep things nice and separate and it stays cool and you're not having to readjust. I know when you get older, those balls start to sag a little. Let's be real. And this is a great way to carry those babies and give them support. There's also a women's line, which I love and find amazing. They're also moisture wicking and they help balance your pH so you stay fresh in the heat. And they're always releasing new styles and patterns. Ladies, get your man some new undies. Go to sheath.com and use the code dumpster to get 20% off your entire order. That is sheath.com and use the code dumpster to get 20% off your entire order. Get your man some undies.
Chickens come home to roost.
In my, second favorite story of the past 2 weeks, we'll get to my favorite. Pro-Palestine protesters clash with the Pride Parade in Philly. Queers for Palestine were like the kids in the divorce in this. They were like, don't fight, Mom and Dad, please. We're all on the same side. I love you. Queers for Palestine were like, this is why I'm gay. It's the mustaches versus the beards.
Who will win?
It just ended in a big gay orgy. Yeah, where's Kendall Jenner when we need her to keep the peace with these protesters? This is the kind of stuff that makes me laugh so hard. I can't even tell you.
Let them fight.
See, you didn't know that Godzilla was pro-Palestine. I thought you guys were all on the same team. And I do think it's hilarious just Queers for Palestine being like, like, am I on this side? The gays are like, trans the kids. And the Palestine protesters are like, kill the hostages. And then Al-Qaeda and Ayatollah are like, yes, these are our people, except for the gays. We're gonna toss them out of a window. Oh, Dave Landau has the funniest joke about that.
Can you imagine going up to Hamas and being like, hi, my name's Daniel, here. I just want to say that I support you. Why are we going to the roof?
I know I'm hard on these protesters, but I get it. I do think that like they're bored and high and they want to believe in something. And the imagery coming out of Palestine, not great. So I completely understand why people would be like, this is horrific, and feel like I try to be empathetic to the causes people believe in, because I really think they have reasons that they believe are good ones.
Yeah.
For dressing up in a keffiyeh, joining Queers for Palestine, and then ripping down posters of hostages. I'm sure they have great reasons for that. Okay, maybe I do have a bit of a bias in this one.
Nothing matters.
I love this category because it's going to be filled chock full of stuff in the coming future, but AI is choking renters. So there was this big program that essentially the DOJ is going after all these offices and raiding these offices because there was a AI program that they applied to rental properties to see basically how much they could push the rent and still leave other properties vacant. And it all was mathematically correct and horrible for rental markets. So across the United States, it went up 23% in the country. In places like Atlanta, rents went up like 56%. And now, good for them. Good, actually, that the DOJ is going after this, because it's essentially like the cartelization of the rental market, which, if anyone has been paying attention, is completely insane. This could be in Breaking Bridget, but it is in Nothing Matters, because there's so much stuff like this that's going on. Price fixing. This happened with the eggs. They found out. It happened with gas. I mean, we all thought that AI was going to come and shoot us with lasers and the robots were going to kill us with lasers, but no, they're just going to raise the cost of eggs and rent, and everyone's going to lose their mind and be homeless. Gays and Muslims are fighting in the streets and pundits are tweeting war. This is how AI is really going to get us. Now let's check the weather with Lluvia Carrillo.
Que nos continúan afectando en este momento. Bueno, pues uno de ellos, como ya se lo comentábamos el día de ayer, pues es este canal de baja presión de núcleo frío que en combinación con el frente frío número 56 de la temporada.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, touch my bells and buttons, sign up for Phetasy.com. Even just signing up for the free newsletter is an awesome way to keep in touch with everything that we're doing, everywhere I'm performing, and all the things we constantly have coming out. And you you get to join the Touch Grass Challenge, which we made a little PDF, and you get it if you sign up for our free newsletter. And we're all doing things in real life to keep us sane in advance of this fucking horror show of an election. Women! A lesbian dating app is using facial recognition technology to exclude trans users. Because as many people who are lesbians know, now all of their spaces are being invaded by trans women, and they're being told to basically suck my dick, bigot, which we predicted many moons ago here on Dumpster Fire. I'm sorry. There need to be spaces where women feel safe.
Yeah.
It's literally getting to the point where it's like, suck a dick or you're a bigot. Like, so, look at my dick, bigot. You mean lesbians don't want to see penises? Let me get this straight. So what you're saying is lesbians don't like penises? Like, guys, this is ridiculous. Leave the lesbians alone. Leave them alone, please. Stop subjecting them to your lady dick.
And we all just normalize women having bulges sometimes. And you might see a bulge or two.
The woman who developed it because she kept getting banned for even saying things like, I just want women, biological women, and then finally she said J.K. Rowling was right, got banned from another. It's crazy how you will get banned from these dating sites for like this innocuous shit and also just being a lesbian. This is freaking bonkers. The lesbians shouldn't have to deal with this. This is just, again, the encroachment of men into female spaces, and they're demanding that entitled demand that we need to allow them in is misogyny.
Yeah, their demand that we just accept their penises everywhere.
Yeah. I don't want a fucking dick in my face if I go to the locker room. I don't want a dick in my face if I go to the freaking ladies' room, if they even exist anymore. I don't want a dick in my face really anywhere other than the bedroom with my husband. The only dick in my face I want is my husband's, okay? Keep your dicks out of all of society. It's such a like dominant thing, too.
It's such bullshit.
Yeah.
That lesbians are getting banned for being like, I prefer women, thanks. No penises, please.
Lesbians are getting banned for saying they prefer women. Get your mind around how insane that is. As well as recently, when there was a freaking UK ovarian cancer research team was like, oh, in honor of Pride Month, which everyone hates now, great job, Pride, because of all of this nonsense that we're discussing, erasing gays, basically. This is like a weird conversion therapy.
Yeah.
And this tweet went out and it was like, in honor of Pride, men can get ovarian cancer. It's like, no, they can't because they don't have ovaries. And I can't believe I'm even saying this in 2024. I can't believe, and thank God for Elon, because back in the day, that would have been a bannable offense to say, no, men don't have ovaries and therefore they cannot get ovarian cancer. Would have been even my interview with Jonathan Shedler, someone was quote tweeting it, and they were like, I can't believe he would engage with some transphobe. And it was me with my like not transphobic opinions, just pointing out why Pride lost the public and retweeting a lesbian in the UK. It's not transphobic to believe that people are allowed to have their own sexual preferences. Yeah. And that if they don't want a penis, it doesn't make them a bigot. It makes them a lesbian. You've all heard me screaming women for years now, and I'm a big advocate for women in general and women's healthcare in particular. I love Quest's line of medical tests specifically focused on women's health issues. They offer a basic women's health profile test that gives you a snapshot of your current health and women's hormone tests, which are designed to identify imbalances associated with various health conditions and specific tests for fertility, thyroid function, and even your menopause stage. This is all such important knowledge for women to have. They also have all kinds of other tests. If you're interested in an STD panel. If you're a guy just wondering what your basic health panel looks like, you want to arm yourself with this knowledge too when you're going in to talk to your healthcare providers. And the best part is that you can get all of this without a doctor's visit. Simply purchase a lab-based test and access health testing at a nearby location, or get immediate results at home with at-home test kits. Your results are delivered online quickly and discreetly. For lab-based tests included with your purchase, you have the option to discuss your results with an independent physician who may be able to prescribe treatment. Go to questhealth.com, use the code DUMPSTER, and get 25% off your first order. The link is in the description below. You've probably already heard of Bone-Charge if you've been watching this show, the holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Getting older sucks. We want to look our best. I've been noticing wrinkles, fine lines, sunspots, and I don't want to have to do a ton of intervention on these things. And red light therapy has been reviewed in over 4,000 peer-reviewed studies. Not only do these studies show amazing health benefits, not one has shown any negative side effects. I am loving my Bone-Charge face mask. I use it 10 minutes every night. It's super lightweight on the face and it doesn't get hot. Other problems the red light face mask helps with, other than wrinkles and fine lines, sore jaw can help with, eczema, migraines, acne, scar tissue, wound healing, relaxation. There's so much that it's really good for. I really think this is one of the best gifts you can give someone. Go to bonecharge.com/Bridget and use coupon code Bridget to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com/BRIDGET. Coupon code Bridget to save 15% off. The link is in the description below.
Dumpster diving.
What's next in the dumpster? All right, my favorite story of the week. A remote Amazon tribe gets internet through Starlink and immediately becomes addicted to porn. I love that American exports now are just porn and Doritos. Like, we're just making people like Krispy Kreme. We're just making people fat and addicted to porn all over the world. That's what we bring to the world. We bring you the internet and porn. Porn finds a way.
Life finds a way.
You know someone on OnlyFans is already down there trying to recruit these people. They did this so they could contact emergency help, and it has saved lives. And it's also destroyed some.
Yeah, the kids are like just on social media, and they were like, you have to like fish and hunt to eat in this tribe, and now the kids don't want to do that. They're just on their phones.
You know the people at Starlink are like, oh my God, it's the remote Amazonian tribe. They're linking up to the internet. What are they going to do? Are they going to learn how to build cars? Are they going to learn about antibiotics? Perhaps they'll learn some new fishing techniques. Nope, they're just watching some MILF get rammed by a BBC. Porn is the substrate upon which all of our services are built. Porn truly is the backbone of the internet.
Pornhub. Here for you.
I mean, this is like when you let your homeschooled kid go to a public college.
Yeah. Like completely unprepared for what's out there in the world.
I really do push back against a lot of the like, no social media and like, and we need to keep the people safe. It's not going anywhere. We are vaccinated for porn in the United States. We've got a strong immune system. These poor folks have no immunity to it. You need to be inoculated over time. Mm-hmm. You need to learn how to deal with it.
Build up a tolerance.
You have to build up a tolerance. You've got to have some, we've got our vax. We've got our vax cards for porn. And these poor people had no idea such things existed. Now they're trying to crocodiles. Are there crocodiles in the Amazon?
I was like, is there crocodile porn?
And now they're trying. I'm sure there's everything you can imagine porn. It's disgusting.
I don't think there are crocodiles in the Amazon. Maybe there are.
Now they're trying to piranhas.
Piranhas are in the Amazon. For sure.
Now they're down there doing snake porn. I don't know. It's really funny though, like how basic the human mind is, that We really are just all animals still.
Sex.
Food. We want pictures of food. Show me making food. Images of food. Get me some food. Sex. Lots of sex. Show me sex. Want to see sex. And rejection. Dopamine. Adulation. Likes. It's like we're all still just tribal little cave creatures. Yeah. With technology that we cannot handle. No. None of us can handle this.
Even with our like inoculations and tolerance, we're still like, it's still a sickness we're struggling to overcome.
Still a sickness. All these people are like, the kids, they need to get off social media. I'm like, yeah, why don't you send me another 25 fucking reels, you lunatic? Maybe all these grown-ups should take a look at their own screen habits instead of looking at the kids and being like, these poor kids, where do you think they're learning it from?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
I see it in my little monkey child. I can see my addiction directly. And it is uncomfortable. But that's on me, not on her. So we had to hear about the guy who, what did he get surgery to look like a collie?
It wasn't surgery. It was like $14,000 on this like suit. It's like,
it's a dog costume.
Yeah, it's a dog costume and like living his life kind of as a dog.
Right. So we've covered this guy in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Who got a $14,000 dog costume and was living his life as a dog. And now apparently he doesn't want to live as a collie anymore. He wants to be a different animal, but he's not sure what. And I was just in the writer's room like, I don't ever want to hear about this guy again. I hope he gets put to sleep. You know his story is going to end up with him getting hit by a car. He's always posting images of himself with newspapers, which is offensive because no one reads newspapers anymore. Why are you fetching newspapers? He's going to get hit by a car when he's going to buy his prop newspaper for his photo shoot because humans can't handle the internet. They turn into dogs trying to get attention. Again, we don't need to be exposed to all these freaks, but now we are. They used to just be freaks isolated in their little town, and they'd be like, oh, that's the weird guy who thinks he's a collie. Now we all need to know about him. By the end of next year, it's going to be this guy fucking one of those Marubo tribe members on OnlyFans on a big screen at the Pride Parade or election. I don't know. And Hunter Biden's going to be involved somehow. He's going to be partying with them. I'm at the point in this show where I want to Jonestown myself. Oh, I forgot my bag. I was going to put it on the set. I got a sweet bag, guys. I got it for this show. It is a dumpster fire bag.
Breaking Bridget.
Fauci was drilled by a Senate Oversight Committee on the way that COVID was handled this past week. I feel like it should have been getting more attention. I'm sure if you are on the right, you got some of it. If you're on the left, you probably had no idea what was happening. There's so much that makes me mad about this. Like so many people, I myself am guilty of it. I've apologized many times, but I was like, what's the big deal? 2 weeks. And many people were like, you're crazy. And I will never trust the government again or anyone. I didn't know. It seemed really bad in China. It seemed bad. I think they preyed on people being afraid and people really seeing all these images of body bags and people dying. And it seemed much worse in the beginning. And we didn't really know how bad it was in those early days. So I can forgive a lot of people for getting behind, you know, when you're scared in like those moments, you don't really know who to turn to. You would hope that the government has a response that they've planned and that has some rational logic behind it. But what we're finding out in all these Senate Oversight Committee hearings is that there really wasn't. And if there was, it's all been buried because Fauci's staff, they got Proton mail accounts and were sending each other emails, deliberately misspelling words, deliberately using asterisks and different signs and symbols so that it wouldn't get picked up. And it was in order to avoid the FOIA requests, the Freedom of Information Act requests, where you could find out what these people were actually saying to one another and how they were determining that we should stand 6 feet apart, which still makes me laugh when I see those little footsteps. Like, all of it was so dumb. None of it made any sense. And it did start to feel like it was just, hey, comply with this just because we want you to. And now we're finding out that's exactly what it was. Because they didn't even really have a reason. And if they did, they're hiding it. So Fauci is now admitting, well, first of all, the New York Times finally admitted that it did originate in a lab, something that's also been hidden, something that people got banned from YouTube for saying. We had things flagged on YouTube. People had their accounts suspended. That's like this Hunter Biden stuff. They submitted the Hunter Biden laptop as evidence in the case against him, the laptop that was just misinformation. This is why I understand why most people are like, it, I'm voting for Trump, because there's so much corruption on the left as well that just gets explained away and whoopsie daisies and we didn't know, and exactly how, like, the way that the fucking kids being masked and being out of school, criminal. People dying alone, criminal. No one's apologized for this. No one's answered for it. No one's ever going to. That's what I'm realizing. And I thought Americans would be more upset about this come 2022 in the midterms. And I was also wrong about that, because apparently I am wrong about everything. And I was wrong that there would be a red wave as some kind of referendum on this ridiculous response. And people, again, just like you do with your parents when you're like, they were doing the best they could. That's what we've done with our government. And no, they actually fucking weren't. They don't have any reason for why they did this. This is fucking insane. What they wouldn't admit at the time is that we probably couldn't do anything because it's a virus and it was aerosolized, and masks don't work the way they do with other viruses, and standing 6 feet apart certainly isn't going to help. And it's certainly not going to help when you stand 6 feet apart and then go into a restaurant with your mask and then take it off so you can eat. Ridiculous, comical shit. I had friends in the program die. There were so many people who were isolated, who took their lives, who died of drug overdoses. You couldn't go to AA meetings in Los Angeles, and you could go to a bar at one point. It was fucking insane. Like, you could go to Walmart, but you couldn't go to a church. This was disgusting and sick, and we should all be infuriated. The thought of all these people dying alone. Again, all the talk about dehumanization. All of this stuff was dehumanizing. It was soul crushing to so many people. And by the way, we've never recovered from it. Most people, when you talk to them, will say their life was better in 2019. They were doing better financially. Their kids were mentally healthier. Their job was more stable. Everything was better in 2019 than it is in 2020.
Their social circle, like
their social circle, their friends, people moved away. Everyone will tell you that everything, their cities weren't burned down. They didn't have to lose trust in every fucking institution because now the racism is the real virus while their cities burn. Like, it was madness. And I understand the human brain's ability and necessity to kind of just push that out and keep moving forward. But no, Fauci should be held accountable. It is bullshit. This guy was like, we have a fucking candle of him. People were lighting candles as if he was some kind of saint. And the guy now says he doesn't recall where the 6 feet rule came from, or the masking rule. You don't recall that? That seems like pretty important policy, not to mention the fact that you force people to get vaccinated and people lost their jobs. People had falling out with their families over masks. It created so much stress on people because there was no coherent, logical reason for any of it. No research that I recall. Was it based on research, Dr. Fauci? No research that I recall. You're the fucking research guy. It makes me like embarrassed that I ever even trusted that these people knew what was best for me. Never. I think a lot of Americans are like, never again on that. And it's an easy position for the Democrats to be in, too, because all they have to do, you can't prove a negative. So they'll be like, oh, 1 million people died of COVID, but it could have been 50 million if it wasn't for you, Dr. Fauci. Like, we don't know. Was this actually life-saving? This guy has portraits of himself in his own home. Never trust a person with portraits of themselves in their own home. And this is also infuriating because this is how shitty Donald Trump is. In the wake of all of that, 2022, people were like, no, I'm cool. I don't want that either. Like, if we had like a reasonable, not insane person who was also not, like, we're just ruled by narcissists, all of them. I guess that's the kind of personality you have to be to even want this kind of power, but it's fucking gross, and it's leading us down dark, dark paths. Yeah. All of them. That's the frustrating thing about this election, is that all of the paths seem dark. I don't blame you. If you want to sit this election out, everyone's going to tell you, oh, it's like for the sake of America. We don't know. We don't know how any of this is going to play out. All I know is that children of divorce are so much more prepared for life.
Phetasy News.
Join us at Phetasy.com to get the unedited version of Dumpster Fire in the days before it drops for free on YouTube. Please make sure you're still subscribed to our channel because apparently lots of people are getting unsubscribed. Surprise, 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 surprise. Go to Phetasy.com and sign up for our free newsletter. You'll get the Touched Grass Challenge PDF sent to you. You can join us. We're posting pictures. We're doing our best to balance a lot of this insanity with just connecting with people in real life, taking in some nature and art and community. That is how we will support one another through this. And I look forward to seeing you guys at any of my shows. Please come out and take in some comedy. Thank you to everyone who makes Dumpster Fire possible. Go get some hot sauce from our writer, Dave Yates, comedian at hahahotsauce.com. Follow all of them. They're in the description below. And thank you to our sponsors, Sheath Underwear, Bone Charge, and Quest. Make sure you check your media bias. I am always checking my bias, and we all have them, whether we want to or not. Lord knows I do. Read the news from multiple perspectives and see what you're missing. So go to Ground News. Our link is in the description below. They are an affiliate of ours. We love them. I love what they're doing. They're just a great service. I really love it. My favorite is the blind spot because I'm like, wow, I really have a blind spot. Didn't hear any of those stories. And thank you to our audience, subscribers, supporters, all of you. We can't do this without you, and we love doing this for you. It truly is so fun hearing from you guys, meeting you in real life now that, we're out doing comedy. And I just appreciate all of you so much. Try and stay sane. Support your fellows. Make some food for your friends. Get together around the campsite. Make some s'mores. Don't take it all so seriously. I know it can feel overwhelming and dark, but that's because we're too online. Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself or it so damn seriously. And we will make burgers out of your sacred cows. And now the internet is glorious to cleanse your palate.
Should I say everyone is gay?
No, this whole thing, all of this, it's all about me.
This has been your Dumpster Fire for the weeks of May 24th to June 6th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich so we can make more of this for you. And the unicorns dance while the world burns.